Melle Mel says Ja Rule might have been okay if he didn't try to be hard and copy 50 Cent. Ja Rule responds, get your timeline straight. What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again, talking facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. All right, Melle Mel is back, one of our elder statesmen that was there at the beginning of this thing we love called hip-hop. The man that created the term MC, which we like to so boldly use when we are describing our fellow MCs and rappers. If you're a real hip-hop head, like if you don't know what an MC is, then I don't know what to tell you. But Melle Mel says Ja Rule tried to copy 50 Cent. I want to read what he said on the Art of Dialogue, and I want to have a discussion because Mel, I don't know what timeline Mel is living in. I don't know what alternative universe Mel is living in, but let's get into it. On Hip Hop DX, right? Ja Rule and 50 Cent's beef was one of hip-hop's most infamous feuds, and Melle Mel thinks things may have gone differently for Ja if he wasn't trying to copy 50 Cent's gangster ways. In a new clip released from the legendary rapper's recent sit-down with the Art of Dialogue, he shared his thoughts on why rappers trying to be hard is resulting in the destruction of the game. A lot of rappers could be better rappers if they stop rapping like everybody else. What is it that you need to say? You could be the N-word that made a song about a pool party, but you messed around and listened to Meek Mill and went and you messed around and did some dumb stuff. It's just like when 50 was doing his thing and Ja Rule tried to copy him. That was probably one of his last big records. He starts rapping Ja Rule's New York. He continues, if he would have just made a record, a pure New York record, it would have been a way bigger record. But he went the route of trying to sound hard because 50 Cent sounded hard. And it was still a good record, but I'm just saying. It would have just if he would have made a pure New York record like how Jay-Z did with his New York record, see what I'm saying? If he would have went along the same lines as that, it would have been dope. So the point I'm saying is that the consciousness does have its place in hip-hop, but everybody is too scared about not being hard. That's the destruction of the whole game. So Melle has this thing about hip-hop. He said, even before this, he's saying that being hard and the streets ruin rap. And I'm going to do that in another video. I'm going to address that issue because Mel tries to act like the streets had nothing to do with hip-hop, and I want to talk about that. But end of the day, he's basically saying Ja Rule copied 50 Cent. Now, anybody in a timeline, now we could say we don't know for sure, but I don't feel like 50 Cent was the springboard of Ja Rule's career and style. I don't even think these two guys got along or knew each other. And I don't hear 50 Cent in any kind of way when I hear Ja Rule. I really just don't know what to tell you. In any kind of way. I don't hear a style, flow. I don't hear any type of wordplay. It's nothing. These guys ain't nothing alike. And I'm going to get to Ja Rule's response in a minute, but end of the day, we all remember that Ja Rule came out first, right? That goes to say something is there about the artist that comes out first. We got to give somebody some credit for that. Even if they completely bit everything they did, they came out first. Ja Rule was first. And all we remember about 50 Cent was him attacking Ja Rule and everybody else in the game when he came out with How to Rob. 50 Cent attacked 50 rappers. All of them was like all upset, all in their feelings when 50 Cent came out with How to Rob because he dissed everybody. He was talking about he's going to rob everybody. And we all thought it was funny and tongue-in-cheek, but these guys didn't know how serious this guy was. He was a newcomer. He was brash. He was from the hood. He already had his stripes in the streets. He was already doing things, so nobody knew if he was trying to really start something or not. And a lot of dudes stepped to him about that, and it went however it went, right? But he ain't make no friends with that. But Ja Rule was already out, if I'm not mistaken, and Ja Rule already had hit records. Ja Rule was already rapping with Jay-Z and DMX by the time we even heard of 50 Cent. And 50 Cent whole thing was trying to take down Ja Rule from day one. He didn't like them dudes from day one, right? He had got shot when he was coming up in the game, and he allegedly was by people that was running with Ja Rule, right? And so we all heard the records out of both camps. So Melle Mel saying that Ja Rule should have made a straight up commercialized New York record like Jay-Z did. He obviously don't understand that New York was a response to 50 Cent directly dissing Ja Rule, constantly dissing him. He got to the point where he was knocking chinks out of Ja Rule's armor. When Shady signed him, when Eminem signed 50, that was the battery in his back that killed Ja Rule, to be honest with you, because now he had the muscle to go along with all the get back he was on. He felt like those was the dudes that was responsible for his attempted murder. He got shot 9 times. He survived. So he don't have nothing to lose at this point. He's like, y'all try to get me, get your money back, because I'm coming for your head. I ain't gonna never forgive you. And look at his damn near 20 years later, and he still can't sit in the same room with this guy. So he's never let it go. Now, the simple fact of the matter is Melle Mel acts like he doesn't understand that the New York record with Fat Joe and Jada and Ja Rule was not supposed to be commercial. It blew up on its own because it was a dope record, right? But it was never meant to be a New York anthem. Like, it was meant to be a New York anthem, but more grimy and more underground, more street. Ja Rule at the time had nothing but commercialized hits. It had got to the point where people couldn't even take Ja Rule serious. He was like a caricature. He was a puppet. He was like an animated cartoon. He was safe for Sunday morning service. Like, it was nothing intimidating about Ja Rule at one point. He was so safe. He was always smiling. He was always laughing, always high, always chilling. So it was like there was nothing aggressive. There was nothing that we looked at him as an elite rapper. At some point, he became Flow Rider, right? He became Pitbull. He was in that lane where he could pack a room with 80% females. Wasn't no real MCs going to see no Ja Rule like that. I'm just going to be honest with you. And that's around the time that 50 came along and started saying how soft he was and how he wasn't street and he was a little dude that wasn't really built like that, and everybody started to go 50's way. What happens with the underground going, at the end of the day, the underground going to have the last say. And if somebody comes out of the underground and gets enough power and gets enough wind behind their wheels, they're going to listen to that person. So they started to listen to 50 Cent as he openly started to do more singing just like Ja Rule. It's just a fact. Ja Rule even said, this dude criticized me for singing, and first thing he does is start singing on every song. And a lot of 50 fans didn't want to hear that back then, and some of them still don't want to hear that now, but it is a 100% fact that 50 actually was doing a Ja Rule impression, right? And I'm not saying he wasn't good at what he was doing, and he wasn't making quality music as well. But let's be clear, he did a Ja Rule in a much more ghetto, more hardcore way. But he still was doing singing on his own records and singing on hooks and making girl songs. So it was the same thing that Ja Rule was doing. Ja Rule was doing it at such a high level that we didn't even blink at it no more when he came out with another hit. It was hit after hit after hit. Go watch that go watch that Murder Inc. documentary. You forget how many hits this guy has. This guy was going neck and neck. At one point, was outselling Jay-Z and DMX. At one point, this guy was the biggest thing in the game. And we didn't even know. We just like, another Ja Rule record. He was penning records for other people that wasn't even on that label. He was making moves that we didn't even know he was making. He was a writer. So we didn't even understand the levels of this guy's reach in the business. But when 50 came along, he squashed all that because he made him look corny. Even though we kind of already was like, this guy low-key corny. But when somebody's making this much money, right? When somebody's doing this much radio, when they got this much airplay, and it's every time it's a party, they got 7, 8, 9 songs on at that party at any given time, and they're manipulating culture. If he put a bandana on, people start wearing bandanas, right? They're manipulating the culture to do everybody. It's murder. Like it's at some point you forget that it's not what you signed up for, and you start accepting what it is. Like when Puffy and Mace started running things, right? That was not what we signed up for. Real MCs was not feeling that. But after a while, you had to eat it and say, okay, this is what it is. This is what the people want. So then we're gonna dance to it in the clubs, and we're gonna make it work, right? We got Mace telling us how broke we are, right? And we just gonna make it. We gonna feel Mace telling us we haters and we don't understand where they vacation at, and we can't drink what they drink, and we don't live like they live, and we won't never see the money he sees. We just accepted that we was beneath him, and we just had to eat it because he was running the game all these summers in a row. Mace runs the game. We had to just eat it for like a good 3 summers, right? We just accepted what we was given, and we accepted Ja Rule for what it was. Even though in a real MC world, Ja Rule wouldn't have been able to eat. I'm just being honest with you. He was a good rapper. He was an okay rapper. He would have been a middle of the road rapper. He had a lot of money behind him, right? There's a lot of rappers like Nine and what's my guy? Or I'm always like, I'm not making fun of him, but it's like he kind of like I kind of mention him like as like playfully, right? Not Granddaddy IU, Mike, Mike Geronimo. I like Mike Geronimo, but I always like I use his name as where careers stop, where they go wrong at, and it wasn't his fault because I just watched him on Math Alpha, but Mike Geronimo is what Ja Rule would have been, right? And I know that Ja Rule and Irv Gotti and Mike Geronimo have a history, and they ended up falling out, and that's why Mike Geronimo didn't go much further. But what I'm saying is the same guy went and took Ja Rule and blew him up. I think Ja Rule blew up off of knowing how to make good records, but also having Irv Gotti to guide him and put the muscle behind him and the money necessary to blow him up. If not for Irv Gotti, Ja Rule would be right there with Mike Geronimo and Nine and quite other, what's my guy, Teflon Don. He would have been right there. Not Teflon Don, Teflon. Sorry, not Teflon Don, Teflon. Quite a few other guys that were nice, right? What's the guy on Reasonable Doubt that he didn't sign the contract? He's on Jay's first album. My God, I can't remember his name. Somebody in the comments tell me. He's on Jay's first album. You know who I'm talking about. He's nice, but he never progressed. Ja Rule would have been right there. And those guys are better than Ja Rule, to be honest with you. So he would have been right there with these guys, but he had the right team, the right muscle. So he changed the game in his own favor. Because in another world, he would not have made it where he made it. So you got to give him respect for being able to do that. So we kind of ate it and rolled with it and started to shift the culture that way, where these sing-songy type of records, they were making so much noise and so much money, we had to eat them. And that's what happened with Ja Rule. 50 Cent came along and started doing the exact same thing. He criticized it at first, and then he realized these records make money. These are big records. So I want to hit you with what Ja Rule responded, because I feel like he didn't get the credit from Melle Mel because Melle Mel is just basically wrong, right? Ja Rule says Mel has earned the right to say whatever he wants, but me copying 50 is like the funniest thing I've ever heard because 50 copied me. I was his blueprint. But other than that, my New York record was huge, humongous, one of the biggest records New York has ever seen. That's a fact. That was a huge record. Empire State of Mind is a huge record as well, but they are different. Mine is a street anthem, and Empire State of Mind is like a big commercial kind of record with Alicia Keys and Jay-Z. Mine is me, Fat Joe, and Jadakiss. It's gutter. He's right. Now, they did make Empire State of Mind to be commercial, but it's playable in any venue because that beat is so hard and that anthem is so hard. That record is an anthem on every level. I can't go nowhere and find somebody that don't either know that record or really respect that record as a New York anthem. It's really hard to say that that's not an anthem. So commercial or not, it's still a record that's an anthem. He also said that he wanted to pay homage to KRS-One because he's the one that the lyrics are sampled for in 100 Guns on the New York chorus. Big shout out to KRS-One. That's his lyric. 100 gun, 100 clips. Everybody know that. I don't know how Mel messed that timeline up. He basically is telling Mel to fix his timeline because it's all out of whack, and he is right. He came out before 50 Cent. He was not trying to copy 50 Cent and be hard. So this shows you how unplugged in Melle Mel is really with current hip hop. He thinks that Ja Rule actually came out after 50 Cent and tried to copy 50 Cent with New York, New York, not knowing that New York, New York was a response after 50 made, I believe it was Ghetto Quran and some other songs, and he started knocking chinks out of Ja Rule armor, and Ja Rule started to fall in the streets. He was dissing Ja Rule constantly, and Ja Rule stock started to fall down. The whole ink started to fall down. So Ja Rule came back after he started to look really, really crazy in the streets. He came back with New York, New York, which was a surprise because of how strong the song was, how hard the song was, and that Fat Joe and Jadakiss was on it, which ruined their relationship with 50 Cent for years. But that record is hard. I don't care what nobody say. That's probably one of Ja Rule's hardest records. So that's a dope record. There's nothing you can say about that record. Anybody can freestyle to that record today. They won't have to say much because it's such a hard record, right? But Melle Mel, once again, he can have his opinion as an old head, but at least be low-key. Have your timeline right. There's no one on this earth that thinks Ja Rule came out after 50 Cent and tried to imitate 50 Cent and be hard. Ja Rule was already talking that hard stuff before 50 Cent even came out. Let's just be a buck, right? So, once again, we have debunked another baseless Melle Mel claim. I don't know why the old man is constantly coming at people, and these ain't even young rappers. Ja Rule got to be in his 40s at this point. You know what I'm saying? So these ain't even this stuff he should know at this point. Like, I don't understand how Mel is 60. What is Mel? I think he's 62. I'm not 61, 62, something like that. Which at the end of the day, you still should know some of this stuff. This is stuff, even the stuff he's getting wrong is 20 years old. So it's like, come on, bro. Where did you stop paying attention to what's going on in hip hop? If you're telling me that Ja Rule tried to be hard because he was imitating 50 Cent, let's be clear, man. You need to know what you're talking about, Mel. We respect you. We respect what you've done in this game, but you be way off with these wild accusations and these wild takes. They just sit him down and let him go off, right? He could stop being the old man that we don't even care what they saying no more, right? At least make it sound kind of real, right? And on that note, I'm going to get out here. Let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG, let me know if you're going to watch. Every Wednesday, we go live with Clash Brothers podcast. Every Thursday night, we got the Martini Show. I got Talking Flicks coming. I got Talking News coming. It's going to be something live every single night of the week at 8:30 on CLBMG Network. How you see CLBMG Network? On Twitter, on Facebook, and on YouTube. All of those channels are live and popping. Check us out. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
CLB.